Hi, I'm Laura Geis. Welcome back to week 11 in the God Success Secrets video series. Last week we talked about how important it is to take action if we want to succeed. Well, this week I want to urge you that if you're going to take action, you need to do it right now. Don't wait, don't hesitate, do it now. So our success secret for this week is act now. Now, have you ever heard of or been part of a long-distance romance? Well, not too long ago, I was speaking with a gentleman who has had the longest distance romance I have ever heard of. He lives in Indiana, my Hoosier home state, and his wife now came from Russia, and they carried on a long-distance romance between Indiana and Russia for quite a few years. And the reason I was talking with him is I'm writing a book about how these success principles that I found in the Bible, how people have used those and gotten amazing results in their lives. I call them God stories, a story that only God could make this story happen. And I was interviewing him for one chapter in the book, and it seemed like the perfect chapter for him was act now, because that is exactly what he did. So my friend Mark, when he was a child, was diagnosed with diabetes, and his doctors were having problems regulating his blood sugar, and his parents sought out an expert doctor in the field of childhood diabetes. And they met this doctor, and Mark became his patient, and over the years they became good friends, the family friends. And it was at the time that the Soviet Union fell apart that Mark was in high school. And this doctor that he worked with was smuggling insulin into Russia. I guess when the Soviet Union fell apart, the economy was horrible, the healthcare was horrible, everything was kind of in a state of chaos in the former Soviet Union, and there were small children with diabetes who couldn't get the insulin that they needed. There was some insulin available, but it was on the black market and you had to pay a very high price to get it. So basically, doctors were telling parents of these children, go home and wait. Your child will probably live maybe to be 10 years old. So these young children were dying only because they needed life-saving insulin. So this doctor was smuggling insulin into the country. And when my friend Mark was a senior in high school, this doctor asked, would you like to come to Russia with me and smuggle some of this insulin in? Well, Mark didn't take long to think about his answer. He wanted to go. Now his parents, on the other hand, brought up all the concerns. What about your own diabetes? What if something happens while you're on this long trip? Or what if you get arrested? There are all kinds of things could go wrong, but Mark was determined to take action and take action now. So he joined the doctor and made several trips to Russia throughout his teenage years and early adult years, smuggling insulin into the country. What happened, how they got it in the country was there was a guy working in Russia at the airport in the customs department. His daughter had diabetes, so obviously he wanted this insulin. So when Mark and the doctor would go through customs, he would kind of turn the other way as they were sneaking the supplies in. Well, it was on one of these future trips that Mark met his future wife, Katie. She also was a diabetic and had been a diabetic since childhood. And not only did this doctor smuggle insulin into Russia, he also held camps for kids with diabetes, and he would invite Russian children over here to the United States, and then the opposite year he would send some American kids over to Russia to have these summer camps. He planned bike riding trips where the kids would bike ride for a whole day, planned all kinds of things, and Katie participated in these activities, and so did Mark, and so the two got together and met and fell in love. But then always at the end of the camp, they were back in their separate countries again. But they kept up communication, and eventually Mark decided to fly to Russia and ask Katie to be his wife. And they were married and lived in Russia for a few years before they decided to move back to the United States and start their family. So now they're living here in Indiana, in the Hoosier State. But all of this happened because Mark decided to act, and he had to act right now. You know, at this point in history, there's not the need for the insulin in Russia like there was right when the Soviet Union collapsed. It was kind of a special time period when the economy was in chaos, when this need was so great. Now the medical treatment is a little better over there, I'm told. So this was Mark's one shot. It was like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him that, you know, it only comes around once. So what I want to ask you today is, what is it that God's asking you to do, that He's urging you to do right now? And if you wait, you're going to miss out on it. If you hesitate, you're too late. Our verse today says, when you make a vow to God, do not delay in fulfilling it. And that's from Ecclesiastes 5:4. So don't delay. Whatever God's asking you to do, get out there and do it now. Don't wait till you're older. Don't wait till you have more money. Don't wait till you have more time. Stop making all the excuses. Get out there and act now. So I was going to tell you to get out your journal and write down the action you need to take right now, but I'm going to strike that and tell you don't even get out the journal. Just get out there and act now. And I'll see you next time.